Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Propel's Virtual Garage. I'm your host, Russ Latonia, coming to you from Sarasota, Florida, home of the North American Service Center. It's been an exciting week for us this week. We finally got the bindings out, the Propel P1 binding system. We developed two versions of the footplate for the binding. One mount is specifically for Endeavor, which comes with the plate. The other mount is for any other board out there, DIY, that you can add bindings to. Simply have to drill 4 holes for the front, 4 holes for the back, and you're good to go. I have a spare deck over here. It's just an old deck that I had from another board I had years ago. I'm just going to show you how to mount the foot on that and how to set it up. It's a junk deck. We'll just use that for, example purposes. But let's start with the Endeavor, and we'll show you how to mount the plate, get it all gripped up, how to make your adjustments, how to adjust your instep strap, and then we'll do the DIY, okay? So with that, let's get into Endeavor bindings. Okay, everybody, just bear with me with the background noise. They're doing construction on the building behind me, so there's really no way about it. But okay, this is what we have in our kit, okay? You're gonna have Endeavor only hardware. You'll have DIY only hardware, a top grip, a bottom grip, the 2 binding straps, and your 2 mounting plates, one of which I took inside. Okay. Anyway, first thing we're going to do is we're going to get the tape onto our plates. Okay. These go on. It's tape. So yeah, you peel the back, put it on, and now we're going to trim the edge. I'm going to do both of them right now, and I'm going to go into fast forward so we can get through that and get on to the next stage. So bear with me. Okay, and there we have a plate all done, all padded up. The rougher one goes on top, okay, and the way you can tell is because the little dimples, you see how they're raised? That goes down into the hole, okay, on the board. Those 6 go on the board, and then these 5 here are raised up, and that's the top side. Let's go back to the board, and I'll show you how to put one on. Okay, so once we've had got our grip tape on our plate, okay. The next thing we want to do is just get everything laid out. You can see here the hardware I have. There are 2 screws. The 2 big screws are for the bottom mount, the 2 little screws that'll lock it in, and then my deck screws. It's pretty simple, okay. So you notice the holes are raised on each side, okay. This is the top side with the rougher tape and the 5 raised holes and the 2 raised holes in the back. The bottom side is where all the deck holes are raised because those sit in the little wells that the screws have. So how do we put this on? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to mount this to this because once this is on, you can't really get at the side screw over here like this. So this has to go down first. Plus I'm going to show you how we lock in that screw so that the bottom screw can't turn. Okay. So first thing we do is we take our 4mm, the big one, with my tools. Okay, so we take the 4mm, we put it through the bottom of the plate, okay. I'm going to use this mounting position and this mounting position because I'm goofy and that's facing forward. So the binding will sit like this at its most aggressive stance. This is regular, that's goofy, okay. So coming in with that bottom screw, just tighten that up, get that in there. You don't want to get this all the way tightened because you have to be able to swivel it over to lock in the other side too. So we're just going to get this in there for now. Okay. And then we do the other side in the hole that you like. You can put that on the floor, step on it, move it around, see where you like it. I like it on the most aggressive side. I don't know if it has something to do with being smaller or smaller feet. I don't know. It's personal preference, wherever you like it. Okay. Do the same thing. Get that one started. And again, that's a 4mm. I want to apologize for the noise in the background. They're working on the building behind me. And this is one of the PVGs I didn't want to put off because a lot of these are in the mail right now, heading to you guys, and I knew you needed this one, so I wanted to get it done today. It's a quick and easy one though. Unless you have butterfingers. Okay. Once you get those somewhat where you want them, then you want to get them exactly where you want them and then just tighten that down Nice, nice. Not too tight, okay? But you want to get it good and snug, both of them. Okay. Now we take our 2.5 and we go and we collect those two little screws, okay? Those are just lock screws. Those are going to go in the side now, and what that does is that locks that bottom screw from being able to spin and turn out on you. So it doesn't damage your board and your binding doesn't come loose, okay? So we go right in the side with that. Oop, my old eyes can't tell which end is which. Okay, probably easier to put it in the, okay, yeah, put it in there. Right in that side hole, okay? And just tighten that down. Okay, do the same on the other side. Got my little lock screw. Okay, right in that side hole. Tighten it down. Okay, next thing we do, remove our tools, grab my screw gun, and line up our deck holes, okay? I like to take a little hole punch or anything like that and just punch through first so you get that tape out of the way, okay? Let them sit right in there. Grab your deck bolts. In we go. Okay, so that's it. We've got our 6 deck screws in. We screwed it in from the bottom first, put our lock screws in on the side, and it's that simple. That's all there is to it. Now we'll talk about adjustment a little bit. This binding is a free-floating binding. As you may see, it's not locked like a tramper. It allows your foot, moves with your foot as you lift, and you know how tight you want to use this is all personal preference. When I ride bindings, I usually ride mine pretty loose. I use them like a foothold on a windsurfer. I've noticed when I do bail, I come right out. The board has never been attached to me. I like that. Kind of gives me some peace of mind because I can have that uplift on the binding, but still not have to worry about having a board strapped to me if I do take a tumble. But yeah, so the way you adjust these is ratchet works just like a standard ratchet, buckle ratchet. Okay, that makes it tighter. You lift this little tab and that loosens it up and brings it back out. Ratchet to make it tighter. Okay, you can preset it on this side. There's a little tab you lift up, that slides up and down. There's only like 5 notches. I have it all the way down on the smallest because I'm a small guy. If you're a big guy, move it right up to the top right away and start from there. Okay, and that's it. The binding, very simple. Okay, let's move on real quick and I'll just show you the DIY mount. That's super simple, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, so now we're back at the bench. I have just one of my old decks here. The DIY kit comes with 2 mounting plates, the 2 through, these are for the through deck bolts, and these are the ones that hold the bindings on. So you can use the mounting piece as a template. You'll also notice that one side is beveled. That's the bottom side, okay? That accepts the head of this screw to come up in and be nice and flush underneath, and it allows the interface of the binding to sit flat on that metal, okay? So again, the bevel is on the bottom. So just take a piece, put it on the board where you want it. I usually like to step on the board, put the binding in place where I want it and have somebody mark it with a crayon or a piece of chalk or something like that. Then step off and drill it. This one I've already drilled. I put this there. I drilled my 3 holes here, as you can see. Okay, so now I'm going to take my mounting plate face down. Whoops. And I'll put in my through deck bolts. Okay, I'm not going to tighten these because I'm just showing you what needs to be done, okay? And then the next one. And then the same thing we did with the plate. The binding goes on, and this comes in from underneath. And it's not long enough for this deck because this deck is so fat, but you get the point. Well, all right, so there you have it. That is the Propel P1 binding system, okay? 2 versions, DIY, and the ones made specially for Endeavor. We are currently looking into seeing if we can make one for an X4S as well. And That's about it. If you have any questions, fire away below. I'm happy to answer. I know this one was kind of quick and choppy, and I got the construction going on in the background. There's some stuff going on today. It's just one of those days, but I had to get this done because, as I said earlier, these are in the mail, and I want to make sure you guys are comfortable knowing what you're doing. Yeah, so again, any questions, fire away below or hit us up on the Facebook page. Like, subscribe. You'll be notified every time I make one of these. And thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Ride hard, ride safe, and always ride Propel.